Guys, this video is sponsored by Bardia Helmy at Premier Fight Picks. Bardia is a top sports bettor and analyst with a 70% winning record tracked over 4 years. Guys, Bardia has been on fire lately, profiting on 5 out of the last 6 events. Just this past weekend, he predicted Islam Makhachev to submit Charles Oliveira, and also gave out a prop bet of under 3.5 rounds. With Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva and Arnold Allen versus Callan Cater coming up, in addition to 3 UFC events next month, this is the perfect time to sign up. Bardia is offering weekly, monthly, and yearly subscriptions to get you in on the best MMA picks, bets, and analysis. There are currently 3 bets posted for this weekend's UFC Fight Night: Cater versus Allen, and the highly anticipated UFC middleweight title fight, Adesanya versus Pereira. A subscription will get you instant access to all of this content and more, so don't miss out. Go subscribe at PremierFightPicks.com. And don't forget to follow Bardia on Instagram at Premier Fight Picks for free fight picks and analysis. The story goes like this. Alexander Volkanovski would like to fight Conor McGregor. The reason is not the money, it's not the draw, it's not red panty night. The reason that Volkanovski would like to fight McGregor is McGregor is the only featherweight champion alive that Volkanovski hasn't beat. Okay, I move on. Turn the page, join my morning, cup of coffee, petting my dog a little bit. Wait a minute. I turn the pages back. Wait a minute. Volkanovski's claiming that he's beaten every featherweight champion in the history of the world, living or dead, active or inactive. That's what he's claiming. Except Conor McGregor. It's just a weird thing to say. I turn the page and I go back and I'm petting my dog Duke. And I go, wait, hold on a second. I flip the page back to some bitch. He's not kidding. He's not kidding. I was there the day that featherweight became a thing. Or at least I should say I was there in Las Vegas the day they set up a beautiful press conference and walked Jose Aldo out in a perfectly tailored suit and announced to the world that he was the UFC featherweight champion. And that was either in 2012 or it was in 2013. I share that just because I was there. I remember it. I didn't realize it'd been such a short period of time. Volkanovski is not using a figure of speech here. Volkanovski is not grasping. He's not attempting to say something lofty while proving another point. He's being literal. That is an incredible storyline. Volkanovski has fought and beaten or himself is every single featherweight champion in the history of the featherweight division, save one, Conor McGregor. Now, why does Volk bring that up? Volk inserted that line while doing an interview about something totally different. The interview, first and foremost, had to do with Islam. It touched on Volk's opinion of Islam versus Charles. It touched on Australia and Perth being the date. It touched on how big will Volkanovski be and how's the training going to go. And Volk just sprinkled that in somewhere. And guys, I thought it was just a figure of speech. That's why I'm only bringing this to you because I want you to understand how literal that is. So what Volkanovski, the way that Volk is trying to tell this story is he can't just go get Conor. And Conor can't just come have him. But here's what Volk's going to do. Volk's going to go and get the belt. He's going to take it off of Islam. And then he's going to defend it against Conor. But he's not defending it against Conor for red panty night or for the attention or because he deems that to be an easy evening. He's going to defend the 55-pound title against McGregor to bring honor to the featherweight division. It's perfect. I mean, that's absolutely perfect. Volk doesn't quite have the skill to have this get over in the way that it should or present this quite in the way that it should. But tell you what, Volk's doing better. And guys that want to fight Conor McGregor want the attention and they want the money, which by the way, they're not entitled to the money. I mean, I should just bring that to everybody's attention. They're not entitled to the money. Historically, Dana has done very special things for those guys that go out there and fall down against McGregor. And those stories spread through our industry, so guys think if that's going to be them, that they're going to get a step outside of what they are entitled to, which is a written contract. But you damn sure get a lot of attention. And there was a time that was a harder fight. There was a time when you needed a great big bet of money to fall on because Conor McGregor is going to put you to sleep and your head's got to hit something. That attention remains the same. The fight, not quite as difficult. This is just truth. This is just reality. And if you want to call out McGregor and you want to have some kind of heat or some kind of angle, you have to convince everybody that it's not about the fame and it's not about the money. Even though it's about the fame and the money, you have to convince people that it's not. I think Volkanovski just did that. Volkanovski's trying to get to McGregor, but to get to McGregor, he's willing to change weight classes and get through Islam. That's fascinating to me. Whether it's little or not, whether it's all part of a big master plan and it is about the shine, it is about the spotlight, it is on the pay-per-view, I really don't care at this point. Volkanovski has convinced me it's not. He's convinced me it's about something else. And he's convinced me that he's not looking for a night off. Right? A fighter, particularly a champion, has one job that they must rinse and repeat every single day, which is to get the most money against the easiest opponent. Every single day that they wake up, they need to do that. They knock somebody down, they knock somebody out, they finish them in the octagon. Joe Rogan sticks a microphone in their face. They have to be very aware of adrenaline. They have to be very aware to not get over their skis and say something that they ordinarily would not. The most money for the easiest fight. That's how you run your career. And Volkanovski is talking about going into the absolute hardest fight, which then could draw him into... No, I'm not willing to predict for you that this is what's going to happen. I don't think Conor returns to 155 pounds. If Conor does return and it's at 170 and he gets some good steam and some good momentum, he will use that as a springboard. He will use that to shake off the dust, to sharpen that tool and go back to 155 pounds, I think. If I were to guess. Now, a week ago it came out that Conor had been removed from the USADA pool. I was excited about that. First off, that was good advice that was given to Conor. It was very good advice. If you think you're going to have a whereabouts violation just because how much you're traveling, if you're fully aware that you're going to be working with the doctor and you don't want to cross-reference that against an unknown agency called WADA, and you know you're not going to compete anyway, it was very responsible that Conor removed himself. What ended up happening, though, is when Conor was removed, he's now not eligible for a quick fight. If you think about Conor versus Cowboy Cerrone, as a night of business, that worked. Wildly successful. And like in any business, you want to find something that works, and then all you do from that point on is duplicate it. Just keep duplicating it. Just keep selling it. Selling the same thing. That's all you're trying to do in business, is find one thing that you can sell and then learn how to copy yourself. But it wasn't sustainable. You don't have things like somebody like Conor McGregor that is such a star that you could just pick a date out of thin air, get the TV networks, get the building filled up. But there was a lot of reasons Cowboy versus Conor worked, and one of the ingredients was the fact that it was sprung on us on short notice. It was a treat. It was not something we thought we were going to get. That is an added recipe to the promotional career of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather does a very, very good job of giving us absolutely no information. One day he gives us all the information, and 5 weeks later he's in the ring. 5 weeks is a standard promotional cycle from announcement to competition of Floyd Mayweather. I like that. I think it's too long. I think it's too far. You might know a fight that's going to go down 6 months from now. There's no reason to announce it today. You're just going to annoy people. Get it a little bit closer. And the one thing that did happen to Conor when it got revealed that he was not in the USADA pool is all of a sudden we lose that ta-da, we lose the surprise factor. It just gets taken away. And I was very curious how Conor was going to handle this. Conor, who is a master manipulator, how is he going to handle the fact that something's been revealed that he thought he could keep secret. He's going to have to deal with innuendo, but on top of that, it's going to take away a little of the special sauce that is Conor, which is he will do anything that he pleases at any time he wants, and now all of a sudden he's got a clock working against him. How's he going to handle it? Simple question. I was just curious. I was curious to watch him get out there and work. He hasn't done anything yet. He's laid very low on this, which surprised me. Would not be what I predicted. But now he has a sitting reigning champion who's also the #1 guy in the world, who's putting him over, who's fully saying, you're still the guy. You're still the one I'm chasing. I've beaten all of your records. I have a more beautiful record than you have, but you still have the name and I still want it. And to get it, I'm willing to go through hell known as Islam Makhachev. That is a very interesting story. Volkanovski's beaten every featherweight that's ever had the belt, ever. With one exception, which is Conor McGregor. That is not ballyhoo. That is literal. And I think that's amazing.